Good afternoon, KSST listeners. It's 1:56. Sulphur Springs versus Greenville. We now take you out to LadyCat Park, where Don Julian calls play-by-play for LadyCat softball. Don?
Matt, thank you very much, and welcome everyone into the district softball game here at LadyCat Park on an absolutely gorgeous Chamber of Commerce kind of day here in Sulphur Springs. Just beautiful weather here. For a softball game, we had a 1:30 start time, we know that, but umpires are here and the coaches are meeting out at home plate. I guess the JV game wrapped up about 1:30, so by the time the teams got warmed up and the umpires got back out and this umpire meeting going on, but it's the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs against the Lady Lions of Greenville. The Lady Cats are 1-0. They went over to Royce City on Tuesday night and won over there 11-4. Greenville was playing at home on Tuesday, and they lost to Texas High by the score of 8-1. And I understand that we are live video streaming today. Certainly our intention, and hope that's all working well. It appears to be. And we appreciate our fine folks over in Greenville for giving us permission to do that. Coach Robert Woods, a delightful person to talk to, and he's in his third year with the Greenville Lady Lions, and just a fine guy, and he is part of the umpires meeting right now with another fine guy, David Carrillo, and a couple of other fine guys, our umpires for this game. And so we will be starting just as soon as the umpire meeting gets over. Might tell you that for the Lady Cats today, Addison Cadell, the freshman, is scheduled to be our starting pitcher here for this one. And a veteran Greenville pitcher that we've seen on several occasions, Katie Shaw, will be pitching for the Lady Lions. So district softball coming up very quickly here, just as at the conclusion of this umpires meeting. And boy, compared to the weather that Doug and I have seen here at LadyCat Park, and I have seen too coming to the Sulphur Springs tournament, this is just almost too good to be true. I think the last game we did, temperatures in the 30s, so chill factor somewhere lower in the 30s. That was the last game that we did. I think we've done one or two games. That's right, we did a Mineola game and a Duncanville game. So we have done two LadyCat games this year, and both of them with just absolutely miserable weather. Handshakes all around at home plate, so we'll be starting shortly here as the players will be taking the field. The Lady Cats will be heading out into the field, and Kevin Tanton is our PA announcer today, and Kevin will be introducing both teams, Greenville and the Lady Lions, the Greenville Lady Lions, and also the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs. And so Kevin Tanton will be taking over very, very shortly as we listen to the first sounds of him. He got the signal, I'm pretty sure, from David Carrillo to go ahead and begin. But we will be starting with him just very shortly here. Pretty good crowd gathered for a spring break. Boy, I couldn't think of a better thing to do on a beautiful day like this. I'm telling you, this is a good place to be, and hopefully will turn out that way for Wildcats baseball. We're scheduled to do that game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock as always tough Texas High Tigers come in. And that's a ball game I've enjoyed over the years, a very competitive ball game. And we look forward to that as well. Now here's Kevin Tanton.
Greenville Lady Lions and your Sulphur Springs Lady Cats. All right, first the visiting Lady Lions. Number 12, Marcy Williams. Number 9, Chloe Snook. Leading off, Number 2 in the circle tonight, Katie Shaw. Number 4 playing center field, Layla Newton. Number 8 in catching, Jay Jacobs. Number 11 playing third, Kelsey McNair. Number 7, shortstop, Anna Reeves. Number 10 playing first base, Brooke Hutchins. Number 1 at second base, Jordan Honeycutt. Number 3, playing right field, Faith Swanson. Number 5 in left field, Olivia Joyce. Greenville Lake Lions head coach Robert Woods, Caitlin Fowler, Diana Jones. And now for your Sulphur Springs LadyCats. Number 1, Bailey Haggerty. Number 5, Cobria Harrison. Number 13, Tessa Holt. Number 14, Abby Bear. Number 16, Darby Williams. Leading off for your LadyCats, number 7 playing short, Kelsey Wallace. Number 4 in right field, Allie Fife. Catching tonight, number 22, Brinkley Driver. In center field, number 18, Sadie Stroud. At third, number 3, Kate Womack. At second base, number 17, Sierra Smith. Your designated player, number 8, Landry Bell. At first base, number 12, Maddie Millsap. In left field, number 6, Nyla Lindley. And in the circle tonight, number 10, Addison Cadell. LadyCats coached by head coach David Carrillo, Bailey Dorner, Chris Valdivinos, Jeremy DeLorge, and Bradley Bickery. Now, if everyone would please stand, gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor our country and proclaim the national anthem.
And a couple of fist bumps from the two umpires as they are getting ready for this ball game too, getting their game faces on here. As we get ready for district softball game. Like I say, a little tardy this afternoon, but things just kind of running and on spring break time, I guess you'd say. Everybody kind of laid back. Let's review the Lady Cats defensively. Brinkley Driver is behind home plate catching and receiving the warm-up pitches right now from the starting pitcher today, Addison Cadell, in the circle. Over at first base is Maddie Millsap. Second baseman Sierra Smith. We've got Kate Womack down at third base, and Kelsey Wallace, the shortstop. Best shortstop in East Texas, according to Principal Driver, and I wouldn't argue with him on that one. Left field is Nyla Lindley. Center field, Sadie Stroud, and out in right field, Allie Fight. As Addison Cadell continues to work with the warm-up pitches. And the first three Greenville hitters scheduled to bat today are Katie Shaw, Layla Newton, and also Jade Jacobs. There'll be 1, 2, and 3 in the Greenville Lions, or Lady Lions lineup. And Coach Robert Woods heading down to third base. And Shaw looks like she will be hitting from the left side for the Lady Lions to start the ball game here against Addison Cadell, who has a no-hitter to her credit this year. So Addison toes that rubber out there in the circle. And here's the first pitch to Shaw, in there for a call strike. And first pitch this afternoon on my Mickey Mouse watch is 2:08 p.m. And Cadell with the next offering, and that one is down too low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Katie Shaw. Again, the Lady Lions 0-1 in district play with a loss at home to Texas High. The Lady Cats winning on the road last Tuesday against Royce City. That pitch outside, 2-1 the count now to Shaw. The opposite number for Addison Cadell. She'll be doing the pitching today. And she's been a good one for these Lady Lions. And here's a 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the leadoff hitter for the Greenville Lady Lions. Beautiful day here at LadyCat Park. Probably say that about 50 times today. Very nice. Here's a 2-2 pitch, swung on, hit foul down the third base way. Nice hands by third base coach Woods as he scooped that one up as it came to him down there in the third base coaching area. See all these players looking down at the wristbands. And the 2-2 pitch. Call, strike 3. So Cadell opens the ball game with a called third strike on Katie Shaw for out number 1. And that'll bring up Layla Newton. She is a center fielder for the Lady Lions, hitting in that second spot. She's a right-handed hitter. Chokes way up on that bat. There's a lot of that bat sticking down through her hands there, so trying to get that bat around quickly. Cadell's pitch in there for a call strike, 0-1 the count. Cadell busting the strike zone pretty good in the early going here. And again, Jade Jacobs, a veteran catcher, is on deck. Swung on, hit out to right field. That'll be in there for a base hit. Fight will pick it up and made a throw to first, but Newton was in there ahead of the throw, and solid base hit for that number 2 Greenville hitter, Layla Newton. 1 out and 1 on, and here's Jade Jacobs. And I certainly remember her too from volleyball season. She was a solid member of that Lady Lions volleyball team that was a playoff team this year. Pitch from Cadell, call strike. She took something off that pitch and dropped it over the outside part of the plate for strike 1. And Cadell continuing to look at that wristband after getting the pitch call from the dugout. That pitch misses, throw to first by Brinkley Driver, not in time. 1 ball and 1 strike for Jade Jacobs up at the plate and for Addison Cadell in the circle. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Missed outside, 2-1 the count to Jacobs, with Newton running down at first base. And being a center fielder, you would imagine that she would have pretty good wheels. I don't know if she will challenge Brinkley Driver, but we'll see. That pitch up too high, and the count goes to 3-1 now. Former Lady Cats assistant coach for for basketball and softball, Kevin Tanton, doing the PA work today. Here's a 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and the count goes full to Jade Jacobs. Hitting in that all-important power spot, that number 3 spot, right-handed hitter. And Addison is ready to work now. And the 3-2 pitch, call, strike 3. And so that is 2 called out up there at home plate on call, 3rd strikes, 2 outs with a runner at first. And Addison Cadell's brother is in the stands today with his parents, Meredith and Jake Cadell, and Ryder Cadell is here. He's with Ozarks College. I believe that's in Arkansas, if I have that correctly. There's a call, strike to Kelsey McNair, now hitting. 2 outs with a runner at first base for the Lady Lions. That's Layla Newton. And Addison Cadell ready to work. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Looks like she took something off that again. And no balls and 2 strikes to the cleanup hitter for these Lady Lions, Kelsey McNair. And Cadell's 0-2 pitch on the way. Just missed outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the number 4 hitter in that Greenville lineup, another right-handed hitter. Has an open stance there at home plate. And the 1-2 pitch. That missed. It was over, but looked like too low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Addison steps back to the back of that pitching circle and now checks the wristband and then toes that rubber. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit slowly towards second base. Fielded Sierra Smith. Throw to first to Maddie Millsap inside in time. And that's going to do it for the Greenville Lady Lions. A hit, but nothing more. They had no runs, 1 hit. There were no Lady Cat errors, and 1 Lady Lion left on base. We played half an inning here at Lady Cat Park. Greenville Lady Lions 0, and the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs coming to bat. Back in a moment. Now we're in the bottom of the 1st inning here. And working on the warm-up pitches now for the Greenville Lady Lions is Katie Shaw, throwing in to catcher Jade Jacobs, who fires that ball down to second base. As we get ready for the Lady Cats coming in hitting here in the bottom of the 1st inning, it'll be Kelsey Wallace, Allie Fight, and also Brinkley Driver, the scheduled hitters for the Lady Cats here in the bottom of the 1st inning.
Number 7, Kelsey Wallace.
And Wallace will hit from the right side. She's not your prototypical number 1 hitter. She hits with a lot of power. Most lineups she would probably hit 3rd or 4th in there, but very good at the top of this Lady Cats lineup. Takes a call, strike on the 1st pitch from Katie Shaw. And Wallace steps back in there from the right side. She's showing a little bit of bat between her hands, choking up just a bit. Swing and a miss. And 0-2 the count quickly now to Kelsey Wallace. Lady Cats wasted no time the other night. Seemed like, I don't think they scored in the 1st inning, but then they scored 5 in 3. And that pitch outside, that was a waste pitch, but it was pretty darn close. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. That could have been tempting if a hitter was a little bit overeager. That was a good waste pitch. That was pretty close. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Shaw. Swung on and popped up. That'll be back up over our heads here. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just underway, still time to catch a lot of softball here at Lady Cat Park. as we play here in the bottom of the first inning. And the 1-2 pitch, that's high and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind today is blowing basically from left field across to right field, so that'll help a ball hit out toward the right side. 3-2 is the count as that pitch misses outside, and the count goes full now to Kelsey Wallace. I think a ball hit to left field might be held up a little bit. We'll have to see how that pans out. But that appears to be the wind pattern. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on by Wallace, hit straight away to center field. Center fielder coming in, and actually it blew all the way back. A second baseman tried to catch it, and that was hit on the infield. I thought that was heading to the outfield. That wind strong enough to blow it back that the ball was dropped, and that'll be an error on the second baseman as she just could not corral that one, and I'm sure the pop-ups may be nightmares today. They may be tough plays. Maybe more than just the announcer fooled by where the ball ends up. I thought that was heading out to shallow center field. Here's Allie Fight hitting from the left side. She lays down a good bunt, fielded by Jacobs. The throw to first, but the actually the throw went down to the first baseman, and she was not on the bag, and she was trying to find that bag. And I believe Allie Fight will get a hit on that. So runner at second now, Wallace, runner at first, Fight, and here's Brinkley Driver. She'll test this wind theory, I would imagine. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Brinkley Driver, and she did not get cheated. She took a big cut. Driver steps back in. Boy, the superintendent area out in center field is very popular today. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on, lashed to right field, but it'll go foul. I'm sure the wind helped that one push a little bit foul, but it was kind of headed that way anyway. 0-2 now to Brinkley Driver. First 2 Lady Cats on, Wallace on a dropped pop-up on the infield, and Fight on a bunt single, trying to sacrifice. And the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and first strikeout for Katie Shaw. So that's out number 1, and here's Sadie Stroud, the center fielder for the Lady Cats. Sadie, a right-handed hitter. 2 on and 1 out. And Shaw, pitch on the way. Over, but low for ball 1. So 0-1, the count to Sadie Stroud. She and Wallace and Bailey Haggerty and several others, 4-year starters on this team. There's a call strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-year players. Sadie, of course, spent 3 years in left field and moved over to center. Wallace has been a mainstay at short from the get-go. 1-1 pitch, swung on and blooped toward right field. The right fielder coming in, can't get it, fell in front of her. Coming around third is Wallace. She will score, and moving over all the way to third base is Allie Fight, and pulling into second with a double, a wind-blown job out to right field. The right fielder for Greenville, Faith Swanson, was coming about as hard as she could come, but just couldn't get there. That ball being blown away from her, and just couldn't get a glove on it. So Stroud with an RBI double, and Fight moves to third. Kelsey Wallace scored, and the first pitch now to Kate Womack is in there for a call strike. Kate coming in, of course, a little bit late to softball season because of basketball playing, but she is just hit from the beginning. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing. I think she foul tipped that one, but into the catcher's glove. 0-2 the count now to Kate Womack. With runners at third and second, a run in for the Lady Cats, and they have 1 out. And Katie Shaw now with the 0-2 pitch is swung on and hit foul. That time Womack reached down and made sure she protected the plate and just fouled it off the top of the Greenville dugout. Count remains 0-2. Allie Fight running at third, and Sadie Stroud at second. And Katie Shaw's 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and the second strikeout in the inning now for Katie Shaw. So with 2 outs and runners at third and second, here is Sierra Smith. And Sierra Smith, not Sarah Smith, Sierra Smith in the batter's box. And Shaw's pitch on the way, swing and a miss. That's strike 1. Lady Cats have a single and a double in the inning with that bunt single and that wind-blown double by Sadie Stroud. Here's the 0-1 pitch, call strike 2. And Shaw seems to have settled down out there after the first 2 batters got on, and she's gotten tough to hit. Did allow that double, but on a normal day, that probably would have been caught. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it swung on and hit foul back out of play. Out into the, I believe that might made it into the parking lot. One of the young kids from the stands going over there, I think he'll be disappointed to find out that that one cleared the fence. Somebody outside the fence is going to have to help with that one. And Katie Shaw ready to work again with runners at third and second. And the 0-2 pitch on the way, up just a little too high to Sierra Smith. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lady Cats lead 1-0 here. And Shaw toes that rubber, and she's ready to go in that circle. And here's the 1-2 pitch. It swung on and hit the shallow right field again. Right fielder coming over and made the catch. Or just as she crossed the foul line. Looked like she probably played a little bit more shallow that time and was able to get to that one by Sierra Smith. So the Lady Cats get 1 run. They had 2 hits. There was 1 Greenville error and 2 runners left on base. So we played 1 complete inning now from Lady Cat Park. It's the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 1 and the Greenville Lady Lions 0. Top of the second inning here from Lady Cat Park. Lady Cats pick up a run in the bottom of the first. They lead 1-0 in the ball game. And for the Lady Lions, it'll be their 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the order. Anna Reeves, Brooke Hutchins, and also Jordan Honeycutt scheduled to hit here in the top of the second inning. Greenville, no runs, 1 hit. Lady Cats have 1 run and 2 hits in the ball game so far. And here's Anna Reeves, a right-handed hitter, swing and a miss on the first pitch from Addison Cadell, who's beginning to work her second inning in the ball game. Infield punched in short at first and third, call strike 2, and so Addison Cadell has hit the strike zone on the first couple of pitches here in the top of the second inning. Again, Kate Womack at third and Maddie Millsap at first, in just a little, second and short, just about regular position. Call strike 3. That is the 3rd strikeout now for Addison Cadell, who really has that strikeout pitch working in this ball game in the early going. Here's the first baseman for the Greenville Lady Lions. This is Brooke Hutchins. Tall right-handed hitter, steps into the batter's box. And first pitch from Addison Cadell, call strike, maybe reflecting a little taller batter. That was up across the letters that time, call strike 1. Have a little bit bigger strike zone there than your average. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That swung on, hit foul back in the screen. 0-2 the count to Brooke Hutchins. For a radio audience, Greenville today with some black pants with red jerseys, black numerals. Those red and black leggings, hose. That pitch misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hutchins. Forget what baseball teams call those socks. I guess just call them socks. 1 ball and 2 strikes, swing and a miss. And that is strikeout number 4 for Addison Cadell. 2 outs, nobody on, and here's Jordan Honeycutt.
Number 1, Jordan Honeycutt.
Honeycutt, a right-handed hitter. She's the second baseman for Greenville. And she's pretty deep in that batter's box against Addison Cadell. And Cadell's first pitch, down too low for ball 1. So 0-1 to Honeycutt. 2 outs and nobody on in the Greenville second inning here. 1-0 pitch, missed inside, 2-0 the count to Jordan Honeycutt. On deck, if the inning continues, is Faith Swanson. Addison Cadell with a 2-0 pitch that swung on, hit right back to Cadell on one hop. She throws to first, and that's going to do it for Greenville. An up and down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played an inning and a half now from LadyCat Park. The LadyCats of Sulphur Springs 1 and Greenville 0. Bottom of the second inning, and for the LadyCats, they'll have the bottom 3 in the batting order: Landry Bell, Maddie Millsap, and Nyla Lindley. Those are the scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the second inning against Katie Shaw. Warming up right now into starting catcher Jade Jacobs. Remember talking to Coach Carrillo during volleyball season playing Greenville. He pointed out players like Jade Jacobs that he knew from the softball team that were also playing volleyball. Well, Jade was a good one, I tell you. She was a key part of that team.
Landry Bell.
And here's Landry Bell. She's the designated player today. And like just about all these LadyCats, she's been hitting the ball well. It's hard to find a player that really hasn't been hitting the ball all that well. Just from top to bottom in this order. And then even the bench players seem like they're ready to hit when they get up there. So here's Bell from the right side. First pitch, looked like she tried to check a swing, maybe went a little bit too far for strike 1. A lot of times a batter will ask the umpire, was that a strike? Did I, was I right to check my swing? Or here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Boy, Landry didn't get cheated on that. She took a big cut at that one. 0-2 the count. And Landry steps back in there, hitting from the right side against Katie Shaw, who had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. That one, a waste pitch, a little far outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Landry Bell back in there, awaiting that pitch. Landry also a cheerleader. Swung on and hit foul down the right side. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. They'll round up that softball and get it back to the circle. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. First batter here in the bottom of the second. LadyCats leading Greenville 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. LadyCats scoring in the bottom of the first. Here's a 1-2 pitch, swung on, hit foul. That screen caught that one, hit off to the right side. Count remains 1-2. Looking down that right side, call them the scribes from the Sulphur Springs News Telegram. Don Wallace down there taking in the ball game. Call strike 3, and Shaw picks up her 3rd strikeout. So every out a strikeout except for the fly to right field by Sierra Smith. Here's Maddie Millsap. Maddie's shown some power this year. She's hit the ball out of the yard. And that Nyla Lindley on deck, she's done that too. So like I say, they're hitting from top to bottom. Here's the pitch now in there for a call strike to Maddie Millsap. Maddie, the first baseman for the LadyCats. And back into the batter's box. Here's Shaw's 0-1 pitch. And down too low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Umpire, I thought that arm was going to come shooting up there, but he digested that pitch a little bit, decided nope, just a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch is swung on and popped down toward first base. It was over in foul territory, but caught over there by Brooke Hutchins for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, and here's Nyla Lindley. Lindley has kind of been a fixture out in left field for the Lady Cats this year, with Sadie Stroud moving over to center to replace one of the Lady Cats' all-time greats, and that Alyssa Abram out there in center field. Swung on and tapped back into the screen, tipped back into the screen. 0-1 the count to Nyla Lindley. I hope Alyssa's doing well with Seton Hall. They were in Texas not too long ago, playing games here. And here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on and right down to third base on one hot hop and thrown to first. That was Kelsey McNair over to Brooke Hutchins. And the Lady Cats go up and down in order. And so no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 2 complete innings here from Lady Cat Park. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 1 and Greenville 0. We're in the top of the 3rd inning now. The warm-up pitch is just completed by Addison Cadell. Throw to second base by Brinkley Driver. And for Greenville, they'll have 8, 9, and 1 in their order scheduled to hit. We'll start with Faith Swanson, Olivia Joyce, and then up to the top of the order to Katie Shaw for the Greenville Lady Lions here in the top of the 3rd inning. Again, live video streaming today. Get a chance to take advantage of that, either in, well, anywhere you are. First pitch from Addison Cadell in there for a call strike to Faith Swanson. Faith is the right fielder. She's had some of the adventures out there in right field, trying to catch that ball with the wind blowing crazily out there from left to right. That pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Swanson. A right-handed hitter. She steps back in there, and again, she's choking up on that bat just a little. Cadell with the 1-1 pitch is swung on and hit out toward right field. Allie Fight will take it on a hop, and that's in there for a base hit. That's their 2nd hit for the Greenville Lady Lions, and they've looked kind of like carbon copies of each other. Those hits flared out to right field in front of Allie Fight out there in right field. So the leadoff hitter on here in the top of the 3rd inning for the Lady Lions of Greenville. And here's Olivia Joyce in the 9 hole, and she's trying to bunt and looked like a foul ball at home plate. And I believe they will send that runner back to first unless they say the ball was not hit. And so that's going to be ruled as a ball that was missed, and then it got into the equipment of Brinkley Driver. So Swanson moves to second. We'll score that a wild pitch. Here's a line drive to second, grabbed by Sierra Smith. She looked at second, but the runner had scampered back in there. And so a hard hit ball by Joyce, but right at Sierra Smith, who made a good snag on that one. So runner at second with 1 out, and here's Katie Shaw. She struck out to lead off the ball game for Greenville. Again, she is in there from the left side. And the first pitch swung. She took a full swing at it and wrapped it back to the screen for strike 1. This kind of reminds me of Alyssa Abram. I was talking about her, and you'd see those outfielders creep up, and then Alyssa would muscle up and hit that ball over their head. That's what Shaw looked like she was trying to do there. She took a really, really big cut at that ball. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He swings and hits a foul off to the left side this time. Fan had to duck as that one came his way. And the count 0-2 quickly now to Katie Shaw. Runner at second base with 1 out for the Greenville Lady Lions here in the top of the 3rd inning. That's the tying run down at second in this 1-0 ball game. Addison Cadell in her third inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That was just off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Katie Shaw. Katie was called out in the first inning on a 2-2 count, and I think she thought that was ball 3. Boy, Kate Womack is just about in her pockets there. She's down from third base. Swung on and hit out to center field, right in her tracks out there, Stroud. And Stroud's throw back to the infield came all the way into Addison Cadell, but the runner holds. That was a well-hit ball, but once again, right in her tracks there, Sadie Stroud had it played perfectly. Hardly had to move much out there. 2 outs for the runner at second, and here's Layla Newton, who had that single back in the first. Swing, ball gets away from Brinkley Driver, and the runner will head over to third base on the swing and the miss at home plate. And that was a call strike at the plate on that swing, obviously. And now the tying run down at third base with 2 outs, as the Lady Cats try to get out of this inning and maintain the lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on, hit foul down the first base way. 0-2 the count. I don't think I missed a pitch, did I? See if we can get a count from the umpire. See if he'll do that. Sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. This time, not so much. Oh, there it is. Looks like 0-2 is what I saw. Yeah, thank you, scoreboard. Here's the 0-2 pitch, just off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Layla Newton. Again, she singled in the first. If I was Allie Fied, I'd be playing maybe a little shallow out there. Here's the 1-2 pitch that swung on, hit on the right side. Maddie Millsap chases, but that'll hit the top of the Greenville dugout. The wind is really blowing in such a way, it's really blowing that ball toward the parking lot on plays like that. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Layla Newton. And they have Swanson running down at third base. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on, hit foul, buzzed the on-deck batter there, Jade Jacobs. Maddie Millsap chases that one down the right field line and now fires it back to Addison Cadell. Addison has allowed no runs and 2 hits as we play right now, but has the tying run on third base. 2 outs and a 1-2 count now to Newton. And that pitch looks like it hit the batter. The runner came down and scored, but they will send her back on the hit batter.
Number 8, Jade Jacobs.
So runners at the corners now for Greenville, first and third with 2 outs, and here's a tough hitter, Jade Jacobs. She struck out in the first, 0 for 1 in the ball game. And Addison Cadell under a little bit of pressure here in the top of the third inning. First pitch, Jacob swings, hits a foul down the third base way. That's strike 1. Just kind of beat into the ground and then roll down the third base way. 0-1 the count to the Greenville 3-hole hitter. And the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. That pitch must have dived or something. The batter took a swing at it. 0-2 the count. So Cadell quickly ahead in the count. And she tries to work her way out of the inning here, with runners at first and third and 2 out. Here's the 0-2 pitch, just off the plate. Cadell, a very close pitch. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacobs back in that batter's box. And Cadell eyes that wristband. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and Addison Cadell gets a big strikeout that gets out of a jam in the top of the third inning. Greenville no runs in the inning. They did have 1 hit with a hit batter. There were no Lady Cat errors, and Greenville left 2 runners on base, and they have left 3 so far through 3 innings. We played 2.5 here from Lady Cat Park. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 1 and Greenville 0. So bottom of the 3rd inning for the Lady Cats. They'll go back up to the top of the order, and Kelsey Wallace, followed by Allie Fight and Brinkley Driver. 1, 2, and 3 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lady Cats up 1-0 in the ball game, and Kelsey Wallace was the one that scored that run for the Lady Cats. She got on an error on a pop-up on the infield that was not caught. And then after an Alley Fight bunt single on a sacrifice, came in to score on a double by Sadie Stroud. So Wallace in there. First pitch to her is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. David Carrillo got to do a little umpiring today. They called maybe the first 3 innings or so of the JV game. Here's the 0-1 pitch, up too high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Obviously some kind of miscommunication or something with the umpires, and they decided, coaches decided to go ahead and get the ball game underway, and David agreed to go out there, give it his best shot. Here's a 1-1 pitch, swung on, base hit to left field by Kelsey Wallace, right between third and shortstop, and a leadoff single for Kelsey. And that'll bring up Allie Fight, and let's see if she's called on by Coach Carrillo to sacrifice once again. Got a very nice bunt down in the first inning, and then the throw down to first base. The first baseman had a hard time locating the bag, and Fight was on. Wallace leads, or is on first base. Here's the first pitch, swing and a miss. Oh, that was no sacrifice that time. Allie Fight took a big cut for strike 1. Steps out of the batter's box now and looks down at David Carrillo coaching at third base, and Bailey Dorner down at first base for the Lady Cats. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. Bunted out this time, bunted it back in the screen. Allie didn't like that. She could tell by the way she was swinging that bat around that was a pretty good pitch. She thought to bunt and thought she should have gotten that one down. 0-2 the count to Fight. He steps back in from the right side with Kelsey Wallace running at first base. And Shaw, next pitch, swing and a miss, and a strikeout. And Shaw's had the strikeout pitch really working today. And that's her 4th strikeout. A runner at first, Phil Wallace with 1 out, and here's Brinkley Driver. And Driver was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Brinkley from the right side. And here's the pitch from Shaw, high and outside. Wallace takes off, throw to second. Oh, they got her with a tag. A nice slide at second base by Wallace, but they say that the shortstop, Anna Reeves, applied the tag at second. And so Wallace is thrown out trying to steal second base. So that erases the Lady Cats base runner, and here's Brinkley Driver with a count of 1-0 now after that first pitch. Pitch to Brinkley, swung on, hit well to left field. The park will not hold that one. That is over the wall. Brinkley Driver with a solo home run. Taking that home run promenade around the bases. And the Lady Cats lead goes to 2-0. Boy, you could tell off the bat that Brinkley had crushed that ball. You know, remember we were talking about if the ball was going to be held, not on that one. That just cut right through there and landed over the wall. Old buddy of mine in Waco, his home run call was over the wall and treetop tall for a home run. Here's Sadie Stroud now with 2 outs. A run in for the Lady Cats. Call strike from Katie Shaw. Lady Cats with a 2-0 lead now. A run in the first, and that home run by Brinkley Driver here in the bottom of the 3rd. And here's the pitch to Stroud, swung on and hit to left field. The left fielder coming in on this one and makes the catch out there in left field. And that's going to do it for the Lady Cats, but they do get a run on the Brinkley driver home run. Actually, 2 hits in the inning. There were no Greenville errors and nobody left on base. So we've played 3 complete innings of play here from Lady Cat Park. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 2 and the Greenville Lady Lions 0. And moving along now to the top of the 4th inning. And it'll be hitters 3, 4, and 5, the middle of that Greenville Lions order. It'll be Kelsey McNair, then Anna Reeves, and Brooke Hutchins scheduled to hit against Addison Cadell, who's working her 4th inning. And so far has allowed no runs and 2 hits. Got into a jam in that 3rd inning, had a couple of runners, had runners at 1st and 3rd, and managed to get a big strikeout to get out of that inning. And the first hitter for Greenville will be Kelsey McNair, and then again Anna Reeves and Brooke Hutchins 4, 5, and 6. McNair is 0 for 1 in the ball game as she grounded the ball to Sierra Smith back in the 1st inning. Sierra, that's a difficult play because that base runner's coming right at her, and she's got to negotiate that. But able to do that successfully to get the Lady Cats out of that 1st inning. So McNair 0 for 1 in the contest, and now Robert Woods is coming down and checking with the umpire. They have a little discussion there, and we may have maybe a pinch hitter or something coming up. Usually when they make a change like that, they will do that with the umpire. So here's Kelsey McNair from the right side leading off the top of the 4th inning. Pitch from Addison Cadell up too high for ball 1. Addison has not walked anybody today, and she has had 5 strikeouts, so she's had that strikeout pitch working in this ball game. Both pitchers getting some good strikeout numbers. There's a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to McNair. And back in the batter's box now with a 1-1 count. Cadell's next pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Looked like again she's, as she has been doing today, taking a little something off of that pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And McNair steps back in there. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That was off the plate. And it is 2-2. That was some kind of a breaking pitch, and looked like she kind of started it outside, then it broke a little bit more off the plate. Sometimes a batter will chase that if they're anxious up there. 2-2 pitch swung on and hit out toward right center field, and it's caught out in right field actually by Allie Fight. I don't have a clue. I'm glad I'm not playing in that outfield today. I thought that was headed to right center field, and it ends up being caught by the right fielder out there, Allie Fight. But that's kind of what happens to the ball as it gets blown in that direction. So that's the first out, and now here's Anna Reeves. So she struck out in the 2nd. So 0 for 1 in the contest. Yeah, hats off to all these outfielders on a day like this. There's a call strike to Anna Reeves. Beautiful day, but that wind is causing some interesting looking fly ball catches today. Cadell's 0-1 pitch, high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Anna Reeves. Anna's the shortstop for Greenville. Always a position of great skill to play that position. Have a lot of respect for shortstops. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. I never had the arm for shortstop. I could feel the ball, but not always cleanly, and that was another reason you didn't want me out there, but I usually couldn't throw them out after I fielded the ball. That pitch down too low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. As far as my arm goes, I had a second baseman's arm. Now my brother was a third baseman. He had that strong arm, but you would want to put me at second. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Call, strike 3, another strikeout for Addison Cadell. 2 up and 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Just count them up here. That is strikeout number 6 for Cadell. So as she pitches here in the top of the 4th.
Now batting, number 12, Marcy Williams.
So 2 up and 2 out. And I just heard him say this is Marcy Williams. So this is that pinch hitter that the umpire was taking note of. First pitch to her is up too high for ball 1. As Hutchins went 0 for 1, struck out. So. But this is Marcy Williams now hitting in there. That pitch down too low, and 2-0 the count goes to Williams. So she's hitting down in that 6th spot. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Down too low. Cadell goes to 3-0. That's the first time we've seen her do that today. And now let's see what Cadell does here behind in the count 3-0. 2 outs, nobody on. 3-0 pitch. That's right down the middle of Houston Street for a call strike. Or maybe anywhere else in the United States. Houston Street, maybe. Of course, they didn't call him Sam Houston, so we've got Houston Street. Here's a 3-1 pitch swing. Strike 2. I bet John Sellers just keeled over. It's actually named after somebody else named Houston and not Sam. And I guess disliked the Houston family so much that he wanted to refer to it as Houston Street. Actually, I think back in the old days, that was it. 3-2 pitch just misses. And the first walk for Addison Cadell. She did hit a batter earlier in the ball game.
Number 1, Jordan Honeycutt.
So a 2-out walk, and now here's Jordan Honeycutt. So Williams running at first. And the pitch on the way, swing and a miss for strike 1. Again, Honeycutt, the second baseman for the Lions, Lady Lions. Addison Cadell, here's the 0-1 pitch. That was down too low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Addison kind of plays with that ball outside the glove and then sticks it in that glove, and that's usually when they get that grip that they want for whatever pitch is coming. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Again, down too low, 2-1 the count. Runner at first, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. The Lady Cats leading Greenville 2-0. In a very competitive ball game so far here. Cadell's 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, Addison will walk to the back of that circle. That's where she consults that wristband, and then she finds her way back to that pitching rubber and toes in there and gets ready to go. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on, just hit nubbed to foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the batter stepped out of the box, and Coach Woods was giving some batting instruction now for Jordan Honeycutt on how to put that ball in play against Addison Cadell. Addison's 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and a couple of strikeouts in the inning. And that's going to do it for Greenville. A walk, but nothing more. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. And we played 3.5 here from LadyCat Park. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 2 and Greenville 0. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. And for the Lady Cats, it'll be Kate Womack, Sierra Smith, and Landry Bell, the scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the 4th. And here's Kate Womack. She was a strikeout victim back in the 1st, 0 for 1 in the contest. Don't seem to hold Kate down long. Seemed like the earlier game we did this year, she was the leading hitter on the team. But that goes back to probably that right after that Sulphur Springs tournament. That was quite early. I could probably look at the date on this. Find that. But first pitch now to Kate Womack, and that bounced in on a hop. Ball 1. He certainly hit that pitch after it bounced. I saw Yogi Berra hit a home run one time on a ball that bounced before it got into home plate. He hit it a long way. Old Yankee catcher. 1-0 pitch, swung on, foul back in the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kate Womack, right-handed hitter and the third baseman for the Lady Cats. Kate back in there. And the 1-1 pitch swung on and hit 1 hop to the second baseman. She smothered the ball and then threw it to first in time. Good second base play there by Jordan Honeycutt. Just kind of smothered that ball, kept it in front of her. And you've got time to do that at second base. And that's out number 1. Now here's Sierra Smith. Sierra hit a fly ball to right that was caught just across the line in foul territory back in the first inning. Pitch to Sierra, swung on, grounded to short. Clean pickup. The throw to first is a good one. Anna Reeves throwing over to Brooke Hutchins. And 2 up and 2 out for the Lady Cats here in the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring up Landry Bell. Landry Bell struck out in the second inning. So she is 0 for 1. Hits with 2 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch from Shaw, swing and a miss. Ball up a little bit. It's hard for a batter sometime to lay off that high strike or that high pitch in general up around the letters. It looks like it's so inviting, you just want to clobber it. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Too high, ball 1 and strike 1. Maddie Millsap in the on-deck area. And Katie Shaw, who's going all the way in this one, 1-1 pitch, and they'll check with the first base umpire, and he said she went too far. So a unchecked swing makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes on the appeal down to the first base umpire. Well, Shaw ready to work. And the 1-2 pitch, that's outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes against Landry Bell, our designated player today. But that just shows a player that Coach Carrillo likes to put up there to hit. Check on the sign looked like by the home plate umpire. And it is indeed a 2-2 count. And here comes Shaw's 2-2 pitch. Ball, strike 3 on Landry Bell. So the Lady Cats go up and down in order in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 4 complete innings now from Lady Cat Park. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 2 and Greenville 0. Now we move into the top of the 5th inning of this ball game. It's moving along a pretty good pace. We're just about the 1 hour mark of this one. And for Greenville, it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the order. That'll be scheduled to hit anyway. Faith Swanson, Olivia Joyce, and Katie Shaw here in the Greenville top of the 5th.
Off number 3, Faith Swanson.
So far, they've had 2 hits. And this is a player that has one of them right here, this Faith Swanson. Both of their hits looked the same. They were flares out to right field right in front of the right fielder. And Addison Cadell's first pitch comes in too low for ball 1 to Faith Swanson. So 1-0 the count. And the next pitch on the way is swung on and hit hard down to Maddie Millsap, and she made a really nice stop. Kind of a sliding stop down there at first and then touched the base. Nice defensive work there by Maddie Millsap. A 1 up and 1 out on a pretty well hit ball there by Swanson. She really likes to go that way. And 1 up and 1 out. Here's Olivia Joyce. Joyce hit a hard shot on the infield that was snagged by Sierra Smith. That was back in the 3rd inning. First pitch swing and a miss against Addison Cadell. And 0-1 the count now to Olivia Joyce, left fielder for Greenville. Cadell's 0-1 pitch swung on and hit towards Sierra Smith at second. She gobbles it up, throw to first to Maddie Millsap in time. And that's 2 up and 2 out here in the top of the 5th, and that'll bring up the top of the order. Katie Shaw. Shaw struck out in the 1st and then hit a pretty well hit ball, but right at Sadie Stroud in center field. She didn't have to move much at all out there. And Addison Cadell, first pitch on the way, swung on, and that hit her in the batter's box, I think, and then kind of squirted out onto the field for a foul ball and strike 1. Oh, Shaw back in there in the leadoff spot, and she's hitting left-handed, but she's taking real full swings up there. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Let that one go by, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Shaw with an open stance up there. That bat high above the head. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and popped on the infield. And Wallace will take charge and actually caught it on the second base side of the bag. So that's going to do it for Greenville as they go 1-2-3 against Cadell here in the top of the 5th. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And we've played 4.5 here from LadyCat Park. And the LadyCats 2 and Greenville 0. It's bottom of the 5th inning here from LadyCat Park, and they've got a narrow 2-0 lead over the Greenville Lady Lions. Scored an unearned run in the 1st inning, and then Brinkley Driver hit one out of here in the 3rd inning. And that's where we are, 2-0. It'll be 8-9-1 hitting for the LadyCats here in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Maddie Millsap, Nala Lindley, and then Kelsey Wallace.
Now batting 12, Maddie Millsap.
Maddie is 0 for 1 in the game. She popped up down toward first base, and it was caught by the first baseman. So she is 0 for 1, hitting in that 8 spot. But again, she has exhibited some power and has hit well down in that 8 spot. Pitch on the way, and that down too low for ball 1. Actually, I don't know that she's always hit 8. That's where she is today, but Coach Carrillo will kind of shuffle them up every once in a while. Katie Shaw out there for her 5th inning of work, and here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, foul, right back in the screen, 1 ball and 1 strike. LadyCats 2, Greenville 0 as we play here in the bottom of the 5th. LadyCats with 4 hits today. And I believe Greenville has 2. So a 1-1 count. Shaw's 1-1 offering. Swung on, hit foul down the left field line. First of all, Shaw took something off that pitch. So Maddie was out in front of that one a little bit. And hit well to the away from the foul line. Count goes to 1-2 on the foul ball. Well struck, but you could tell off the bat that it was going to take a hurricane to blow that one back into fair territory. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Katie Shaw. One up and one out. And here's Nyla Lindley. Nyla hit the ball real hard her first time up. And so she is 0 for 1. We have a new third baseman in there, by the way. Swung on, and there's a base hit to right field for Nyla Lindley. And a solid single for Nyla. New Greenville third baseman. And I am not sure who that is because I didn't get any sub list today. I'm fairly certain that is not who we've had down there before. Well, it looks like that might be Newton that's moved to third. And here's the pitch that's in there for a call strike to Kelsey Wallace. Wallace is 1 out of 2. Hit a pop-up on the infield that was not caught, and then she singled between third and short. So she's 1 out of 2. Shaw with the 0-1 pitch on the way. That swung on and hit well to left field. The left fielder, it's over her head. Lindley heading toward third base, and Lindley will never stop here, and here's the throw. It will not be in time, and Wallace makes it all the way into third base. Give Wallace a double on that. And an RBI. Nyla Lindley with some aggressive base running, but tell you what, she needs to run all the way through that. Looked like she eased up a little bit when she got near the catcher. She wanted to make sure she didn't collide with her or something like that, but sometimes that can be the difference on a close play. But Nyla just never stopped running and came all the way around to score Lady Cat's third runs. Swung on by Allie Fight, the next hitter, and she fouls it back into the screen. Lady Cats lead 3-0 now as there's some symmetry out there. 1-0, 1-0, 1. So far in this ball game. Lady Cats 3 and Greenville 0. There's a ball hit, base hit out to right field by Allie Fight. Coming in to score, Wallace. And Fight has an RBI single. So the Lady Cats getting a couple of timely hits here. And here's Brinkley Driver. She struck out in the first and then hit one up into the trees out beyond left center field. 1 out of 2. Pitch to Brinkley, and that's a call strike right off the plate. Or actually, I guess it hit the plate, right? Or was over the plate. Strike 1 the count, Brinkley Driver. That's very common for her to be pitched out there. Try to keep that ball away from her. 0-1 pitch. That was down too low. They thought Fight might be taking off, but she did not go. And Fight running down at first. As the Lady Cats have had 3 straight hits now. Single, double, and single to score a pair of runs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Call strike again on that outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Driver back in there. With Allie Fight running at first, there's just 1 out in the inning. And Shaw's 1-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded. A base hit out into left field. And that time, Greenville defense reacting to Fight taking off. The shortstop had kind of was breaking toward second, and that kind of vacated that hole a little and allowed Brinkley to hit that right through that hole for a solid base hit. So Fight moves to second. Now a pinch runner coming in for the Lady Cats, and this will be Abby Bayer.
Abby Bayer. Now up to bat, number 18, Sadie Stroud.
So runners at first and second now. And here's Sadie Stroud. She doubled, RBI double in the first. That was kind of knocked down by the wind. The right fielder was trying real hard to get there, but could not. And then Stroud flied to left field, so she is 1 out of 2. Hits with 2 big runners on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch to Stroud in there for a call strike. Lady Cats have doubled their score. They came in ahead 2-0, now up 4-0 in the ball game. And 2 more, as we used to call them in Little League, ducks on the pond. Here's a ball flied out to, well, it's on the infield again and caught by the second baseman, Honeycutt. Once again, I not able to judge that ball very well. I thought that was heading out to center field. But that is out number 2 now, and leave it up to Kate Womack to try to get some more damage for the Lady Cats. So she struck out in the first and grounded to second, 0 for 2. Hits with 2 outs and runners at second and first. And here's the pitch to Kate, and a call strike on the outside part of the plate. Again, Fight running at second and Abby Bayer running at first. And here's Shaw's next pitch, swing and a miss. Kate Womack in a 0-2 hole. And I've always thought it'd be a great idea with Abby Bayer running to put a few hurdles, maybe, between second and third and home, and she could just practice her hurdles out there on the way home. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It swung on and popped toward second baseman, and foul ball. Ooh, that was very close, but just foul, as nobody could get to it, and it landed just in foul territory. That would have scored at least 1. So the count remains 0-2 to Kate Womack. Just landing behind first base and just foul. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's high and outside. Catcher took a long look at Abby Bayer at first, but she's not going to go to second as long as Fight's there. I hope not. 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch is swung on and popped behind home plate. And Jade Jacobs, oh my, that almost, she did a little juggling act there, but she hung on and made the catch for out number 3. The Lady Cats do get 2 runs in the inning, as they had 4 hits. There were no Greenville errors and a couple of Lady Cats left on base. So we've played 5 complete innings now. A new score here from Lady Cat Park. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 4 and Greenville 0. And now it's the top of the 6th inning. And let's get to the right team here. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Lady Lions. That'll be Layla Newton, Jade Jacobs, and Kelsey McNair, scheduled hitters.
Number 4, Layla Newton.
And this is Layla Newton, and they've moved her. She started out in center field. They've moved her over to third base. That was that change I saw a while ago. Swings and hits a line drive that Maddie Millsap makes the catch on. I think that was going to go foul anyway. Maddie reached across the foul line to make the catch, but 1 up and 1 pitch and 1 out for Madison Cadell here. As that was, Layla Newton hit that pretty well, but right at the first baseman there, Maddie Millsap, for out number 1. Here's Jade Jacobs. She struck out twice in the ball game in the first and third. That pitch outside for ball 1. Just think she's probably due on the day when one of your good hitters is having a day like that. You figure about due for a hit. Addison Cadell ready to work, and here's the 1-0 pitch to Jacobs. That's over but low, 2-0 the count to the Greenville catcher. Steps back in from the right side against Addison Cadell. And the 2-0 pitch, and 3-0 the count. I remember that happening one other time. I think after that, Cadell took it to 3-2, but finally did issue a walk. And 1 out, nobody on, top of the 6th, and the 3-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Jade Jacobs swinging 3-0 and did not catch up to it. 3-1 the count. Well, you figure, they're going to maybe groove that ball. Be a nice hit, or pitch to hit. And Addison Cadell, 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. The count goes full at 3-2. Jade Jacobs. Infielders in just a little, but not a pronounced amount against a 3-hole hitter. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that's ball 4. I believe that's Cadell's second walk, and both of them have followed the same pattern. Down 3-0, got back to 3-2, and then base on balls. Runner at first with 1 out, and here's Kelsey McNair. She grounded to second and hit a fly ball, a well-hit fly ball that was caught in out there in right center field by Allie Fight. There's a ball drilled back into the screen for strike 1 by McNair, and she should hit the ball hard. They've got her in that 4 spot. That's usually where the power is in your lineup. As Addison Cadell ready to work again to Kelsey McNair. The swing and a miss, or actually a foul tip at home plate. And 0-2 the count. And McNair back in there. Again with Jacobs at first after that walk. And there's strike 3 and a throw to first by Brinkley Driver, not in time. But they did get the strikeout. And that's 2 outs in the inning with a runner at first. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Strikeout number 8 for Addison Cadell. 2 outs with a runner at first, and here's Anna Reeves, and she struck out twice. And that ball fouled back into the screen for strike 1. Runner was taking off on the pitch, Jacobs from first base. And Marcy Williams is on deck. Get her second at bat in the ball game. Next pitch to Reeves, call strike, 0-2 the count. Cadell quickly ahead in the count. Hope to bring you Wildcat baseball tomorrow night, 7 o'clock from Wildcat Park. Here's the 0-2 pitch, just off the plate, very close pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Anna Reeves with 2 outs and a runner at first. And the Lady Cats leading here 4-0 as we play in the top of the 6th inning. As Addison Cadell has done a masterful job out there in the pitching circle today so far. Here's a 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and she just got her 9th strikeout. Holy cow. No runs, no hits, and no Lady Cat errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played 5.5 here from Lady Cat Park. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 4 and Greenville 0. Bottom of the 6th inning with the Lady Cats leading 4-0. And Katie Shaw ready to work her 6th inning for the Greenville Lady Lions. I just can't help but remember when David Carrillo used to say Greenville's pitching was so bad that it would ruin the team, you know, for like teams like Hallsville that were on the schedule, because a lot of times they were just lobbing the ball up there like slow pitch softball. But that has changed, and Katie Shaw is a big reason for that. She's a quality pitcher and brings a lot up there, and she's collected a lot of strikeouts today. She has allowed 8 hits and 4 runs, but just 3 earned. And for the Lady Cats in this inning, it'll be Sierra Smith, Landry Bell, and Maddie Millsap. Sierra Smith 0 for 2 in the ball game, flied to right and grounded to short. And the pitch from Shaw is swung on and lifted out toward right field. This will end up in foul territory, and actually it hit on the top of the Greenville dugout. Oh my goodness. Is that wind not blowing everything that way today? The players chasing it for all they're worth, thinking they've got a chance, and it hits on the top of their dugout. Leaves the park almost. And the 0-1 pitch on the way, high and outside to Sierra Smith. But a gorgeous day, absolutely beautiful. No clouds in the skies. Baseball would call this, and probably meteorology, a high sky. Here's the 0-1 pitch, up too high, 2 balls and 1 strike to Sierra Smith. Lady Cat's second baseman. Landry Bell scheduled to hit next. That looks like a pinch hitter over there. Oh, that's Addison Cadell. Excuse me. So Addison Cadell's going to get a swing here, I think. Foul out of play, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sierra Smith. Maybe we've run out of softballs here. Home plate umpire visiting, collecting a softball and tossed it back out to Shaw and rolled it out there. Maybe less taxing on the arm. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sierra Smith, leading off in the bottom of the 6th there. And the Lady Cats up 4-0. Shaw's pitch on the way, swung on foul back into the screen by Smith. Does look like Addison Cadell is on deck, and Maddie Millsap scheduled to hit after that. Addison, a very good hitter. Lots of times she's the designated player, not pitching. Her 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit out to right center field, and nice catch out there by the center fielder. That may be the young lady that was at first base to start the game. Again, did not bring the field glasses today. But that looks like Hutchins out there. I think they just switched the center fielder and the first baseman. Actually, no, that was the third baseman, wasn't it? But anyway, nice catch by Greenville. Far out number 1, and here's Addison Cadell, first pitch in for a strike. Be Addison's first at bat today. And here's Shaw's 0-1 pitch to Addison Cadell. That's right down the middle of Houston Street. 0-2 the count. Or how about right down the middle of Highway 19? Not too far from here. Here's a 0-2 pitch. That's outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Lady Cats leading 4-0. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. That one hacked back into the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Coach Derek Tyson among those in the stands today. Assistant football coach, Lady Cats head track coach, I should say. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Shaw picks up another strikeout. That's 2 up and 2 out down here in the 6th. And another pinch hitter coming up now. This is Colbria Harrison. So Harrison hitting. Yeah, it seems like every time I see a box score for the Lady Cats, Colbria's in there with at least 1 hit. She's a good hitter, and I spotted her first at a Lady Cat softball camp that David Carrillo had during the summertime. And I think this young lady was either in the 7th or the 8th grade, but you could tell at that young age that this lady could throw and hit. I told David after that, I said, that player can play for you one of these days. And here she is. On the team last year, I do believe. Here's a pitch from Shaw, call, strike. 0-1 the count to Colbria Harrison. 2 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. She's right down on the end of that bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Colbria also a Lady Cat basketball player this year on the varsity. And the 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and grounded down to first base, and they will touch the bag over there, and that's going to do it for the Lady Cats. So 3 up and 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we've played 6 complete innings now from Lady Cat Park. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 4 and Greenville 0. Well, top of the 7th inning, and Addison Cadell is out there to try to finish off what has been a masterful game so far. Only 2 hits allowed, no runs, and the Lady Cats lead this one 4-0. Lady Cats have had 4 runs and 8 hits. But Addison Cadell will be a big part of the storyline on this one if she can finish strongly here. And she will be facing 6, 7, and 8 in the Greenville lineup.
Now batting number 12, Macy Williams.
Macy Williams is what we heard Kevin Tanton say. I thought he said Marcy Williams the last time, but it is Macy Williams. She hit a little bit earlier. Looks like David Carrillo must have also made a change, because he just looks like somebody different out in left field. But I am not sure who that they've got out in left field right now. But I don't believe that's Nala Lindley. So I assume that's the change. First pitch from Addison Cadell, call strike now to Macy Williams. I may have called her Marcy, I believe, in the 4th. I thought that's what Kevin had said. So we do not have subs for Greenville today. I apologize. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And the count goes to 0-2. And 0-2, the count to Macy Williams. Addison Cadell, freshman for the Lady Cats. 0-2 pitch, call, strike 3. Both of the pitchers today picking up a lot of strikeouts.
Number 1, Jordan Honeycutt.
That's strikeout number 10 for Macy Williams. So 1 up and 1 out, and now here's Jordan Honeycutt. And she's 0 for 2. She grounded right back to the pitcher and then struck out. Takes a strike, 0-1, 0-1 the count. And Addison Cadell, the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2. Again, she's been able to impress Big Brother today as Ryder Cadell is here watching the ball game. He's on baseball scholarship at Ozarks University, Arkansas. Pitch misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jordan Honeycutt. 1 out, nobody on. We play in the top of the 7th. Lady Cats leading 4-0. And Addison Cadell ready to work the 1-2 pitch. Call, strike 3. That's strikeout number 11. I'll have to ask Coach Carrillo if that's a new record for her. That is a ton of strikeouts. And like I say, she had a no-hitter earlier this season. Not sure that might not have been a tournament-shortened game, though. 2 up and 2 out, and now here's Faith Swanson. She singled back in the 3rd. I think that's the last hit that Greenville has had in this ball game. They have had no hits since the 3rd inning. First pitch, a ball, 1-0 to Faith Swanson. 2 out, nobody on. And Cadell with the 1-0 pitch. Call, strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Somebody was commenting the other day that you don't want to make the last out. Somebody's got to do it, I guess, but when you're up there in the batter's box, you say, nope, I don't want it to be me. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Over, but too low, 2 balls and 1 strike now to Faith Swanson. Cadell has walked 2 today, as well as giving up those 2 hits. Here's a 2-1 pitch, call, strike 2. The Greenville Lady Lions down perhaps to their last strike here. Their right fielder in there, Faith Swanson. Should have an interesting story to tell about what it's like to play on this day. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swing, and a foul tip just not held by Brinkley Driver, so the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sometimes that ball hits in the glove and then just kind of falls right out. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. And Cadell, 2-2 pitch. Oh, she took something off, call strike 3. So Cadell, how about that for a fantastic finish? She just struck out the side. I think she had a total of something like 12 strikeouts in this one. And masterful pitching, a 2-hitter for Addison Cadell. She walked 2 and struck out at least a dozen in this one. That is just an amazing performance by freshman Addison Cadell. The Lady Cats helped her out with 4 runs and 8 hits today. Brinkley Driver had a home run in the 3rd inning. The big blow for the Lady Cats, but they had a lot of timely hits. They doubled the score. That kind of took some pressure off with a big RBI double Kelsey Wallace and a RBI single by Allie Fight. And before that, Nyla Lindley with a single. So the Lady Cats win this one by the score of 4-0. They go to 2-0 in district play. Greenville is now 0-2. But a good effort by Greenville today. They just came up a little short in this one. Now for the Lady Cats, next week they'll be Road Warriors. As on Tuesday night they're scheduled to go to Lindale, and next Friday they're scheduled to go to Mount Pleasant to face Jeremy Tarrant. My goodness, that's always a good ball game. Always good to see Jeremy. He puts a good team on the field, and that's always an exciting ball game to watch. So the Lady Cats win this one over Greenville by the score of 4-0. And Matt Jansen back at the station, thank him so much for doing all of our work around the control room. He's always got a lot of things to do, and so I know the rest of the station missed him vigorously while we borrowed him this afternoon. Matt, thank you very much. And Doug Haston, just a great job of doing the engineering, and also the video work for replay on Channel 18, as well as the video work on our live video stream. I'm Don Julian with your play-by-play, and once again our final score here from Lady Cat Park in a district softball game. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 4, the Greenville Lady Lions 0. Thank you for tuning in, and so long, everybody. Fantastic district game. A great job in the circle there by Addison Cadell.
Oh, yes. Coach Dorner, she calls the pitches. She's been doing an outstanding job, and she struck out 12. So, Addison is just a great mental, her mound presence is really good, and that's one thing that it's hard to get as a freshman. So we're really pleased with the way she's pitching and what she's doing, and she's smart and knows the game really well. So again, we're really pleased with the way she did today.
Yeah, 2-hitter, both of those little flares out to right field, just bounce right in front of the right fielder. Just a very strong game.
Yes, and like I said, again, you're blessed when you have someone like that with such a great mound presence, and so we're looking a lot of good things for her in the next 4 years. We're blessed with that, and offensively we kind of struggled, but I always say this: she's always, and I'm just being honest, she's always good here. For the last 4 years, she's pitched well here all the time, and we've struggled hitting her. I don't know what it is with the spin or whatever, but the coach was talking. He goes, "Yeah, she's always pitches well here, and she did it again, So, but we got 4 runs, we got what we needed, and offensively, was I really happy? No, but I know we can hit the ball a lot harder. But those things happen. That's softball. We go back and put on our workout stuff on Monday and go out there and start seeing another type of pitcher in Lindale who is just going to bring it. So it's just styles and philosophies that we got to deal with. And again, the spin that she had today was really working for her. And we struggled a little bit, but we got the job done.
And a nice long fly there, big flies. One announcer says by Brinkley Driver.
Yes, Brinkley. Yeah, and Brinkley, I was really proud of her today because she wasn't really feeling too well today. She had been feeling sick, and I asked her right before that hit. I said, "Hey, do you want me to, we can get somebody in there for you?" But she goes, "No, I'm gonna play," and that's just her heart and her mentality and her toughness. And next thing you know, she puts it out in the trees. So that's what you look for in a player, and I believe she got another hit after that. So Brinkley is very tough, and again, we're blessed to have her also.
In a very tight 2-0 ball game, you doubled your score there with 2 very big runs. I think Wallace, leadoff hitter, and Fight. I think Wallace had a double and Fight a single, and they drive home a couple of big ones.
Oh yeah, that definitely right there. made me breathe a lot better, because when you're sitting there 2-0, anything can happen. And when I felt like we had the 4-0 lead, I felt really good about it, because I knew Addison was pitching so well. I just didn't think they were going to ever mount an attack on her. So, you never know with 2, but you're pretty good with 4, especially the way she was pitching.
How about starting off District 2-0? That's good.
That's really good, and that was our goal. I always told them, and I told them before we started, we are the defending district champions, and nobody can take that away from you. But they're going to be people coming for you. So, in our district, I think every game is going to be a tough game, and everybody's going out to get you. So, I told them that you have to be ready every game, and it's not going to stop. Tuesday it's going to be Lindale, Friday's Texas High, and then the big showdown with Mount Pleasant, which I see that on the horizon. And those are always great games. So it's not a cakewalk. So we're going to earn everything we get, and just like we did last year, we're going to have to battle and play, and our girls know that.